In today's video, we're checking out some highly anticipated movies coming out in 2022, including some that we're really excited about ourselves. With summer just around the corner, we'll likely see Marvel's Phase 4 really take off, Jordan Peele to bring us another spectacular horror movie, Jake Gyllenhaal as a bank robber, and much more. Stay tuned as we discuss what's new in Hollywood. First up, Ambulance gets new release date. First up is Ambulance from the Transformers director Michael Bay. This is the first live-action film the director is releasing since Transformers: The Last Knight. The movie stars Jake Gyllenhaal and Yahya Abdul-Mateen as two adoptive brothers who hijack an ambulance after a messy heist. After injuring an LA cop, the pair then help a paramedic get an injured cop to safety. While marketing for the film began in August 25th in 2021, Ambulance was originally slated for a February 18th, 2022 release, which would coincide with the release of Uncharted starring Tom Holland. But Ambulance's release date was moved to March for an early markets release after Sony moved Bullet Train's release from April 8th to July 15th, leaving Bullet Train's initial time slot open for another film. Ambulance is scheduled to be released across the United States on April 8th, 2022, and will debut in theaters alongside Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Ambulance will also begin streaming on Peacock 45 days after its theatrical release. The film faces real commercial test this week when it arrives in France and Italy on Wednesday the 23rd of March, Germany and Brazil on Thursday the 24th, and Ireland, UK, and Japan on Friday the 25th. We'll be waiting until its release in the US to see what Michael Bay has in store for us. Next, The Batman closes in on $600 million. Robert Pattinson's The Batman is looking like an ultimate worldwide total of upwards of $750 million, and that will be without a boost from China, where The Batman was recently released. The opening took the #1 spot in an estimated 12.1 million, including 2 million from IMAX screenings. The launch, however, was expected to go poorly amid a recent strike in COVID cases in China. As a result, around 43% of cinemas are now temporarily closed, including areas where there's a huge demand for imported films, such as Shanghai and Shenzhen. It would have been interesting to see how The Batman performed in China, but even without the financial boost from China, we expect The Batman to do just fine. Now, a legendary Nick Cage movie debut. Nicolas Cage will be appearing in the US theaters on the 22nd of April in a movie titled The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, and we think it'll be a movie fans will talk about for years to come. What we love about it is the very simple premise. Nick Cage plays a fictional version of himself, down on his luck and in financial ruin, who is forced to accept $1 million from his best friend Javi Gutierrez, played by Pedro Pascal. The film was publicly shown for the first time at South by Southwest in 2022, and it was a moment Nicolas Cage or his fans won't be forgetting anytime soon. IndieWire covered the premiere, and it reported that the reception of the film was so overwhelmingly positive that it might as well have been a rock concert. With an early 100% rating on Rotten Tomatoes and a 9.3 out of 10 on IMDb alone, we, for one, will be the first in line to watch the movie come April 22nd. Next, Strange is just under 2 months away. Benedict Cumberbatch has recently spoken about how doing reshoots for Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness has been challenging for the cast involved. And with Spider-Man No Way Home setting a new precedent of how good superhero movies must strive to be, and also blowing the concept of a multiverse universe wide open, we can imagine how high the stakes are for the Multiverse of Madness. The ongoing COVID-19 pandemic has had a major impact on Marvel Studios, with the company having to reshuffle a massive schedule of films. The Multiverse of Madness hasn't had an easy time across its production. Initially slated for a May 2021 release, the highly anticipated sequel will now be in theaters in just under 2 months on May 6, 2022, with Cumberbatch recently stating that there are ongoing reshoots in Los Angeles. It's safe to say that Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness is going to be one of the biggest MCU projects to date, reaching a level of anticipation which could only be rivaled by Avengers Infinity War or Captain America Civil War. There are also rumors floating around that the movie will feature many unexpected appearances and cameos, and given that Marvel is tight-lipped about their films until they're fully released, we can only guess as to who will be appearing in the summer blockbuster. Fingers crossed that we see Toby and Andrew again. Up next, Maverick is flying to Cannes. Maverick is returning in his upcoming release, Top Gun: Maverick. The sequel starring Tom Cruise as the smooth-talking fighter pilot Pete Maverick Mitchell is set to release across North America on May 22nd. 2027, after beginning an international rollout earlier. Sources close to the Cannes Film Festival have reported that the high-profile sequel will screen at Cannes in advance of its Memorial Day premiere in theaters. Variety's Elsa Kislasi has described the film as a planetary blockbuster that Cannes director Thierry Froment was waiting for since 2020. Since Thierry wanted Top Gun Maverick for an out-of-competition slot, but did so in vain due to COVID-19 messing up the film's release calendar. There's also been increasing talk that the film will be making an appearance at Croisette, a rumor that Paramount has declined to comment on. Either way, we're just happy Tom's back. Next, Lightyear's same-sex kiss removal sparks backlash. We're already getting waves of nostalgia as we await the release of Lightyear, a Toy Story spin-off starring Chris Evans as arguably one of the most prominent Pixar characters, Buzz Lightyear. However, Lightyear's release hasn't been quite as smooth as Disney Pixar's would have wanted it to be. The prequel features two female characters in a relationship, one of whom is voiced by Yuzo Aduba, a 3-time Emmy winner. Only a handful of LGBTQ characters have been shown in Pixar feature films, most notably in Onward, where the Spectre, one of the main characters, makes a reference to her girlfriend. In the same year, Pixar also released a short film called Out, about a gay man's struggle to come out to his parents. However, recently it was reported that a kiss between two female characters was originally planned to be included in Lightyear, but it was removed by Pixar. This move by the company, as expected, initiated a major uproar within the employees about how Disney handled the LGBTQ characters and the recent Don't Say Gay bill in Florida, which experts say would ban the discussion of gender identity or sexual orientation. Employees then protested the removal of the scene by Pixar by staging a walkout, which resulted in Pixar restoring the removed scene, and we'll more than likely see it for ourselves when Lightyear hits theaters in June. Lastly, Scream 6 is coming sooner than you think. We were all confused when the 5th Scream movie, literally simply titled Scream, confusing name schemes aside. However, the movie brought back the iconic ghost face mask that we've seen in our nightmares and also introduced us to a fresh young cast while also servicing fans by bringing back the OGs. It was a box office hit, earning nearly $140 million worldwide, which, considering the ongoing pandemic, was pretty solid. So obviously a sequel was in the cards for the studios, and soon it was announced that we'll be getting a Scream 6. And it's coming to theaters near you sooner than you'd think. It was confirmed on Twitter that the 6th Scream movie will be coming to cinemas on the 31st of March 2023. That's only about 375-ish days away for those of you keeping count. Tyler Gillette and Matt Bettinelli-Olpin will be behind the cameras once again to provide us with fresh new slasher thrills, and writers Guy Busick and James Vanderbilt will return to drum up another round of scares for us fans. While we're uncertain of the entire cast at this time, it has been confirmed earlier this week that Courtney Cox will return to play Gale Weathers once more. And for those of you who would have watched the latest installment in the series, we can expect to see more of Sam and her sister Sarah too. But there hasn't been any announcement on that end yet. Both directors Gillette and Bettinelli-Olpin spoke to Empire, speaking to Empire in the Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness issue, about the pressure of following up with the 5th film and keeping the all-important surprise factor. They rightly said that the next movie should be willing to risk it all in order to subvert the expectations of an audience who has seen it all in a Scream movie. With just over a year to figure out the plot and details of the upcoming Scream sequel, we're just hoping that it keeps bringing back the screams that we loved in the very first entry. That's all we have for you today. What news have you come across about your favorite films? Let us know in the comments below. And as always, remember to hit that like button if you liked our video, and click subscribe so you don't miss out on any future uploads. See you in the next one.